Hello and welcome to round two of the Beach Volleyball Major Series for 2018 from the heart of Switzerland's Bernese Oberland and the beautiful alpine resort of Gstaad. Part of the FIVB World Tour, the majors are the top tier of beach volleyball competition, and Gstaad hosts a record-breaking 19th successive international event. With a $600,000 prize purse and the famous cowbells up for grabs, 2 matches left to play here on centre court to decide the women's competition. Up first, Brazil against Canada in the bronze medal match, and then Canada versus Germany for the gold. Joining myself, Nick Fellows, in the commentary box is the Olympic beach volleyball champion, Dane Blanton, all the way from California, USA. Dane, this is another very interesting matchup. Clearly, Bansley and Wilkerson need to get over their disappointing semi-final to try and give a real good match to Agatha and Duda of Brazil, who are the favourites for the bronze.
Well, Nick, you're absolutely right. As we take a look at the path that these two teams got to this position, Agatha and Duda dropping that semifinal to Pavan and Humana Paredes after going undefeated the rest of the tournament. So they'll be fighting for that bronze medal match, and there is Bansley and Wilkerson. They won their pool as well, but ran into Labaror and Sude in the semifinal and came up just a little bit short. Both of those semifinals going to the third set, and you're absolutely right. How do you recover? That is the whole key to the bronze medal match. You have lost in the semifinal. You no longer can win the tournament, but you have to focus. You have to have that discipline to get back up on that horse and get the victory.
It's a quick look at the two referees. Giovanni Bacche from South Africa, and Brigham Beattie is our second referee from the United States of America. Well, Brazil has both experience and youth on its side. Let's take a close look at the South American players, Dave.
Well, the most experienced player on the court, and that is Agatha. 35 years of age. Agatha, a beautiful blocker up at the net with some spectacular form. She's a silver medalist in 2016 with her former partner, Barbara, decided to part ways, and now she has picked up the future of women's beach volleyball in Brazil, and that is Eduardo Santos Lisboa. She goes simply by Duda, and she is still a teenager. That is not an error. 19 years of age. She's been on tour for some time, was the Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago, and she plays some spectacular defense. We've seen most teams avoid her the entire tournament. On the other side of the net, Canada, who dropped a very tough semifinal to the Germans. There's a look at Heather Bansley, one of the most efficient defenders on the tour, 30 years of age, very quick, unbelievable ball control, and she is just 5'7" tall, but she has shown that she can take on the much bigger 6-foot-plus blockers with not a problem. Her partner, causing a stir on the FIVB Tour, storming the tour at just 26 years of age. They won a couple of weeks ago in Warsaw, Poland, and that is Brandy Wilkerson. At 5'10", she's an undersized blocker, but all the athleticism in the world. An effective technical blocker, long arms, very quick at the net, and a left hand, which is very deceptive. This should be a huge matchup, and all 4 of these players know how important it is to get on that podium to bring home a cowbell.
The Canadians are looking for their 4th medal of the 2018 FIVB World Tour, Brazil the 3rd, and it's quite an interesting one to say the least. But judging on the performances, Dane, and that's where I'm taking my bet and edge from, is that Canada really do need to rebuild after that disappointing semi. Brazil just need to build on their performance. Canada in the white vests, Brazil in their traditional green vests. Big confidence boost for the Canadian ladies to get that first point on the board.
Yeah, I would agree that Canada, their loss seemed to be a little bit more devastating in that third set. They had an opportunity to win a couple of times, and what they also let go was that opportunity for us to see Canada versus Canada in the finals for the first time in history. So that obviously will not be happening this weekend. It's just about recovering and winning the bronze.
Just a final word on the stats before we focus on the play. They have met once this season at the Huntington Beach 4-star event. And that was a win for the Canadians. So let's hope that Canada can literally pick it up where they left off. It wasn't too long ago, Dane. That was on the 5th of May, at the beginning of the Summer World Tour. Here's Bansley on the attack for Canada. Agatha now returning the ball back at the Canadians. And 3-1. There's the first very early break for the Brazilians.
Brazil looks strong. They look focused and like they've put the semifinal behind them, and they know how important it is to represent here and get on the podium. A surprise this week in the men's division. For the first time ever in Gstaad, there was no Brazilian team in the semifinal. So Brazil trying to make it happen here, and to continue as a tough one falls right there for Canada.
Yeah, Dane, let's look at this in slow motion. It's a clear communication issue. Great save from Brazil.
I don't think anybody on the court thought that ball was actually going to go over the net, so.
Lovely play from Brazil. Falling back off the net. Agatha there, lovely.
From the right side, she kind of is going one direction, a little misdirection of the ball, down the line, and really great deception. And Brazil off to an extremely hot start. We usually don't see a timeout called this early in a set, but you're down 5-1. Canada's Wilkerson and Bansley want to talk about it.
As you say, Dane, it's a sign that Canada are a little concerned about the pace of play by Brazil. They're only allowed one timeout per set, 30-second break. The whole purpose of it is to try and break the rhythm, the momentum of the opposing team. But it means they cannot call another timeout for the rest of this first set. We'll see a technical timeout when the total score on the board reaches 21. But without being too hard on Canada, they're almost pressing the panic button very early on in this bronze medal match.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the panic button, it's more the management button, because they're just not playing well, and Brazil's come out on fire. So you don't want it to get out of control. You know, you can handle a 4 or 5 point lead, you can chip into it, but if it gets to 8 or 9 points, which it looked like we were headed that direction, you're in all sorts of trouble. So I think a smart timeout. Let's see if they can side out right away. Not yet.
Here's Duda on the attack for Brazil. Oh, and Wilkerson got her hands there, but the ball falls her side of the net. So the timeout doesn't quite work, or work Canada's way.
6-1. An almost perfect start for Brazil. Here's the quick arm of Duda, squeaking it in between the block and the net, and that's good for a point as the players switch sides.
Here's Duda with the service. Wilkerson sets Bansley. Heather Bansley goes to the back of the court, but is completely fooled by Duda's shot. 7-1, Brazil 6 clear. Got to pull themselves together here now, Canada.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit out of hand early on. Now 7-1. The timeout wasn't enough to slow the momentum from the Brazilians as they continue to expand their lead.
Service error gives Canada a much-needed point. Now here's Brandy Wilkerson, 26 years of age, born in Switzerland, but now resides in Toronto. Duda sets her partner beautifully. And, well, it's out of the textbook, a play like that. Wonderful stuff.
Yeah, right now, Canada, if they're going to get back into this, and even throughout the match, if it was close, what they need to do is to serve tougher. Right now, Brazil making it look extremely easy offensively. The serves are coming over from Canada, and they're just taking them as if they're free balls.
That's a better shot from Brandy Wilkerson. Almost A little indecision with the serve from Brazil right down the middle of the Canadian court.
It's a really nice shot. The retreating blocker. And going over the head.
Bansley with the service to Agatha. Agatha puts it right down the line. Squeezes it through the gap. Still 6 clear, Brazil.
And you can see Brazil attacking with no fear to get blocked right now. So in order to change that, Wilkerson needs to kind of instill the fear by getting a couple blocks so that Brazil has to think about her block. As of yet, they're just kind of swinging away. You got to earn that respect.
It's a better service from Wilkerson. Much more power and aggression. Bansley looks to finish this rally. Good cover from Agatha. Oh, over on 2 from Duda. Is easily covered by the Canadian.
That ball goes out of bounds. And point for the Brazilians. An interesting play right there. I wasn't sure about the over on 2s, but now that I see the replay, there was a touch on the block, and so it actually is the 3rd contact. She had to go over right there. Duda, such a smart partner. Such a high volleyball IQ. For such a young lady, a young player at 19 years of age. It's just incredible to think what a career she will have ahead of her.
Bansley over the top of the block, but the ball is out of play. It's another point to Brazil, who now take the scoreline to 11-4 in this opening set of the bronze medal match. Agatha again is at the back of court, ready to serve for Brazil. Bansley on the attack for Canada. Good cover from Duda. Oh, she's almost there for a second time of asking. Important side out for Canada.
Extremely important, because this thing is getting out of control. But you can tell Brazil has done their homework. They're in the right position. They're playing some spectacular defense, keeping the ball in play, and they're putting pressure on Canada every single time. It was a tough serve by Heather Bansley.
Good play by Brazil.
See Bansley making some really great defensive plays, but every time she digs that ball, it's going over the net. She needs to dig it straight up so it stays on her side of the net, so they get an opportunity to have an offensive attack. If you keep digging balls and it goes over on the first attempt, it just is a free ball for the Brazilians. There's Bansley with a nice cut shot and put away. The Brazilians are doubling the score of the Canadians here. Look at this cut shot. Thumb down, away. Perfectly executed by Bansley.
Canada with service. Randy Wilkerson. That's a good save from Heather Bansley. And a very good put away. Couldn't come at a more important time for Canada.
So that's what I'm referring to. You saw that defensive play. She kept it on her side of the net, therefore giving her partner an opportunity, Wilkerson, to set her, and then Bansley putting it away. So 1 point at a time, they chip away at this lead. That's a great serve.
Wow, superb ace. Couldn't come at a more important time. Just 1 point away from the technical timeout. And they narrow that gap down to 4. How quickly the game can turn. That is perfection, right on the corner tape. Again, sticking with the plan of serving Agatha. Well, Brazil go into the technical timeout at 13 points to 8. Still 5 clear, but signs that Canada are not done just yet in this first set.
A lot of communication going on between the Brazilians. Here's a good look. The high shot over Wilkerson. You know, Brandy Wilkerson was actually born in Lausanne, Switzerland, and then grew up traveling all over. Grew up in the United States, grew up in Canada as well. Her father actually a former NBA player, basketball player. Her mother was a professional athlete as well, so she's got that DNA and those athletic genes for sure. And you know, you can just see it. She's so quick at the net, and she's only going to get better at 26 years of age. But wouldn't it be special getting on the podium here in Switzerland, the place that she was born.
There's work to do for Canada. Halfway point of the opening set in the bronze medal match. And the Brazilian duo in the green and yellow vests are 5 points clear of the Canadian ladies there in the white and red. Brandy Wilkerson, the number 2. Heather Bansley carrying 1 on her shirt. Agatha serves. It's a good set from Wilkerson. And Agatha just gets 1 little touch to the ball.
Precision. You think of Heather Bansley, that's the word that comes to mind. She's just really technical offensively and able to put that ball exactly where she wants.
Good cover from Bansley. And the ball is good. Duda seemed to be there, but chose to watch it hit the line rather than dig it out.
There's that precise shot after playing some really awesome defense, running the ball down, coming in, looking like she's going to hit cross court, and then going high line over the block. High line right back is Agatha.
That's a shot that Agatha's been putting away with absolute precision throughout this opener. Duda. Service is starting to come back again. Bansley on the attack. Well read by Duda. Duda looks to finish for Brazil. Brandy Wilkerson scrambles. Oh, what a beautiful set from Brandy Wilkerson to allow her partner Heather Bansley to put that away. Good work from Canada.
Wow, that was really impressive right there. The fact that Wilkerson could set the ball from that distance, running one direction, setting it the other, puts her 5'7" partner Bansley in the perfect position to get a kill right down the middle of the court. Bansley giving credit, pointing to her partner. She made that happen.
Oh, service error from Wilkerson. Easy point on the board for Brazil. Agatha with service. Targeting Wilkerson with the serve now, Brazil. Well, Wilkerson says, target me if you want to. I will put it away. Again, it's another valuable points and side out for Canada. Great reactions from Brandy Wilkerson. And also, you've got to give credit to Heather Bansley, taking that spike here from Agatha.
Their defense, Canada's, is just really in sync right now. Wilkerson touching a lot of the hits up at the net. Look at that block right back over and giving themselves many opportunities to score. Finally, the Brazilians hit the ball on the top of the net, and this is pretty incredible. The comeback. Remember, we were at 7-1. Brazil was leading. Now it's 15-13, just a 2-point edge.
Good shot from Agatha. Brazil thought they'd have this second set, opening set, I should say, put away. But Canada are fighting back here. Another great shot from Heather Bansley.
Perfect shot. No block at the net. They're trying to play two-person back defense, Brazil is, and it's not really working for them. They're figuring that Bansley at 5'7" might not crush that ball straight down and that they can play defense, but that's not the case so far.
Now we're talking Canada. Once again, Brandy Wilkerson gets her block right on mark on the net.
She times this one, jumps a little late. See how she's still elevating as that ball's hit. And then she throws it down. There's that fist, that emotion. And Brazil has seen enough. They can hear those footsteps coming. Canada is creeping up behind. If you look at that, 4 of the last 5 points going to Canada. They've just turned it on after having a very rough start.
Well, I mean, that rough start is clearly seen on the graphic there. But Canada could still steal this first set from Brazil. Yet another great crowd here. This record-breaking 19th FIVB International Tournament here in Gstaad. I think Rudi Kunz must be a very proud man right now, having delivered yet another amazing FIVB major here. That is a fantastic save from Heather Bansley. And Wilkerson manages to wipe the ball off the block of Agatha. And can you believe it? The scores are all tied. What a comeback from Canada.
I can't believe it. A 7-1 deficit to start this set, and now we're all tied up at 16. You can see the confidence now that Canada is starting to play with. The emotion, they've stayed positive the entire time, haven't gotten frustrated, just been chipping away. And now they have an opportunity to take the lead.
Agatha again at the net with Wilkerson. It's a lovely set from Duda. Good play from Brazil. For the first time in this opening set, the South Americans under a little bit of pressure, but responding with a very important side-out point on the board.
Yeah, regardless of what happens here in this first set, Canada has to be feeling good about themselves to erase a 6-point deficit and to have an actual opportunity. Now, if Canada actually wins this set, I believe that would be devastating for Brazil and extremely frustrating considering their very quick start.
Is Agatha with the service. Good call, good communication from Canada. Wilkerson spotted it first. Bansley thought about it, heard the cry from her partner, pulled those arms away, scores a tied game at 17 all. Heading to 21, remember, but you must be 2 points clear. That's the first time the Brazilian teenager has made a little error on the set. Canada go 18-17. Quick side switch.
I believe this is the first lead that Canada has had here at 18-17. An errant set, and Wilkerson goes up with both hands, throws it straight down. And you can see the frustration, Duda getting up from the sand. And now it's up to Canada to try to close the deal.
Duda on the attack. She doesn't make any mistakes there whatsoever. Furious with herself for the poor set on the previous point, but gets the next point back with absolute speed and precision. And here is Duda with a big service. Wilkerson on the attack. Oh, wins the battle at the net with Agatha. Again, that vertical leap from the Canadian blocker. She's one of the smallest blockers in the business, but she's got great strength for that vertical leap.
Yeah, it was interesting going head-to-head right there. Wilkerson at 5'10", Agatha at 6 feet. But it's Wilkerson who explodes and gets the ball quicker up the ladder. There's a nice roll shot by Agatha. Almost up in the backcourt by Bansley, but the shot just a little bit too precise. It's interesting, as a defensive player, you got to give up something. And you can't take everything, so you got to anticipate. And most players love that high line shot.
Canada need the side out here to take the set point. Wilkerson goes up again, puts it away. Set point for Canada. This is potentially one of the turnarounds of the tournament. Trailing by 6 points on 2 occasions, Canada. But they may well wrap this up and take the first set. 21-19. Heather Bansley with the service. Agatha goes up. Bansley has it covered. Over on 2. And it is there. What a remarkable recovery from the Canadian duo, Heather Bansley and Brandy Wilkerson. That has the crowd on their feet. One of the slowest starts we've seen in a bronze medal match for some time. But once they got going, Canada really took it to Brazil.
That was something special right there. That is proof that it pays to be positive and it pays to continue your focus. 2-0 in blocks, 1-0 in aces. Canada leads those statistics, and they needed every bit of those statistics to go their way to get the victory. They made it as challenging as possible on themselves, spotting the Brazilians 7 points at the onset of this first set, a 6-point hole that they had to try to dig themselves out of. They didn't get the lead until 18, and then they never looked back. Take a look at the Canadian serve placement. They're going 100% to Agatha. They want to stay away from the youngster, the 19-year-old Duda, who has a quick arm and is very explosive. They would rather try their luck with Agatha, the experienced silver medalist right there from the 2016 Rio Olympic Games with her former partner, Barbara.
No matter what the outcome with regard to the result of this bronze medal match, it's a PB for both of these teams here in Gstaad. The Canadians were 9th last year, the Brazilians 5th. But for Canada to try and wrap this up in 2 sets and take the bronze, it would be a huge moment in only their 17th FIVB World Tour event as a partnership. Duda gets the action underway in set 2 with a blistering opening serve. You can see the sense of urgency from the Brazilians. They must win this second set to take it to a tie-break third.
Not sure if the Brazilian watched the other semifinal, but maybe they did, because what they are doing now is targeting Brandy Wilkerson. You know, she's very fortunate, somewhat lucky to get out of that, but her arms are late to pass the ball, and she's shanking the ball backwards. That makes it very difficult to run the offense, and we saw that against Germany in the semifinal, which I believe kind of cost the Canadians that match. And so Wilkerson's got to work on that passing, but it'll be interesting to see if Brazil tries to exploit it.
Duda's clearly fired up here. Playing with passion, playing with aggression. Now let's watch this Agatha service. Does it go to Wilkerson or does it go to Bansley? Good call from Wilkerson, helping her partner Heather Bansley out. Ball was out of play. Scores are tied at 2-all. But if you're just joining us live here at Centre Court in Gstaad, Switzerland, Canada have won the first set, 21-19. Wilkerson with service.
Look at that, ripping it. She has the most unique serve on tour. You know, Laura Ludwig used to have a serve where she would stand with her feet parallel and kind of squat, jump up, and hit the ball really flat. Wilkerson kind of runs up, throws herself a set, and cuts it off really quick. And what happens is she puts a lot of pop on the ball, a lot of movement, no spin, but that ball is almost like a knuckleball in baseball where the ball doesn't move at all. It just floats back and forth. It's so hard to track as a receiver.
It's a good up from Duda. But her partner Agatha just gets caught a little under the ball and off balance. Canada take the lead at 4-3.
Like I said, I think it's going to be difficult for Brazil to recover after that 7-1. I mean, a lot of disappointment. You think earlier in the day they lose in the semifinal, then they come out really on fire in the first set of the bronze medal match, up 7-1, lose it, and the frustration starting to mount, and Canada putting a lot of pressure. That ball looks like it's out of bounds as well.
First break on the board in the second set for Canada.
Right there, making it look easy. Going over on 2 is Duda for the kill to trim the lead to just 1. There's Wilkerson taking a lot of area, and then Bansley getting it up. And there Duda, a little away from body, down the line, deceptive shot for the kill.
Wilkerson was still in the sand from scrambling to get the ball up from the serve. 2 excellent plays from Brazil to tie the scores up. Agatha serves Wilkerson this time. Bansley with the set. Wilkerson makes it count. Not sure whether the ball was be in or out. Took the serve receive very late. Good play from Brandy Wilkerson at the net once again.
Wilkerson, an exciting player to watch. There's the little tip shot over the block. You think it's going to be up, but it dies very shallow in the court. Duda a bit confused how she was unable to control it.
Wilkerson to serve.
Oh, Bansley read that one perfectly. Just couldn't get to the spot in time. Solid shot by Agatha. Very short. It's all about touch and finesse right there. Look at that all-out effort. That's what you're always going to get from Heather Bansley. Always kind of groveling in the sand, not afraid to get dirty.
Service error from Duda. Advantage back with Canada. 8-6 Canada. 14 points total score on the board. Quick side switch. Bansley with a good deep serve to Duda. It's a good side out for Brazil. Agatha, 35-year-old, goes to Bansley with her service. Bansley now on the attack and hits that into the net, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that one straight into the net. It's got to clear. It's got to touch the blocker somewhat. You're going to get another few contacts, but Bansley knows that she missed that one. If you let the ball drop just a little bit, it can be costly.
Well, second time of asking, she gets it right, Dane.
Yeah, but you know what? That ball's clipping the top of the net, which you don't want to happen because eventually Brazil's going to scoop it up. You want to hit cleanly above the net, and you never know. It's been a long tournament. Sometimes fatigue might start to kick in.
It's a little cooler down on centre court today, but there's been some very, very hot sessions with it. Celsius up to 32, 34 earlier this past week. Scores are all tied at 9-all. It's Brazil that has to win the second set. Wilkerson finishes it off. After that one-arm save from Duda, keeps the ball up. That has Agatha, well, not in the position to be able to make a strike on the ball. Canada back with the advantage at 10-9. And the Bansley serves cross-court to Agatha. Agatha now on the attack. Right on the line, over the top of Wilkerson's block. Brazil tie the scores.
A lot on the line right now at 10-all. Only one player on the court has brought home a cowbell, and that is Heather Bansley, who did it in 2015 with her partner, former partner, Sarah Pavin. So get on the podium, get that cowbell, and of course take home the jewelry, that bronze medal. So I think all four players know the importance right now as Canada in control.
Yeah, taking that all-important advantage into the technical timeout, 11 points to 10 to Canada, but perhaps most importantly, winning the first set 21 to 19. It's a good point that you made earlier, Dane, with regards to fatigue starting to set in. Both these teams have already played a semi-final earlier today, and Duda, for me, starting to just slow a little, not looking as quick, as sharp as she had and certainly did in the semis, and that could be just a little bit of a problem for the Brazilian duo if Duda starts to lose that pace, which is such an important part of their game.
Yeah, and it's hard not only physically but mentally to keep the focus after both these teams had suffered really tough losses in the semifinal, but great players recover quickly, and I think we're seeing that here with both Canada and Brazil. You know, they've played high level the whole time. It hasn't gotten ugly. They haven't given up a lot of unforced errors. It's been really steady, solid volleyball. These teams are very evenly matched, and they're going at it. Remember, their head-to-head record, 1-1. They've played 2 previous times, and the latest happening in Huntington Beach, the 4-star event, just a couple of months ago. Bansley and Wilkerson winning that one 15-7 in the third. So the previous 2 matches that these 2 teams have played have gone 3 sets. Will we have the same here? If Wilkerson has to decide that, she'll say no.
Well, so important for Canada to get that first point coming out of the tech timeout, that 30-second break, and Wilkerson winning at the net before and after the technical timeout. You can see there's an athlete looking very focused and confident right now. Another great point score. Canada go 3 clear. Is this North America starting to stamp her authority on this second set now?
Well, you know what Canada is doing really effectively is serving tough. That last point was the direct result of Wilkerson's serve. Let's see if she can do it again. She's going for that deep corner for Agatha. And Agatha coming aggressive that time, making sure she got that one to the sand.
Lovely set from Wilkerson. Oh, and Duda can only get one hand to it. Heather Bansley's shot putting Duda into full stretch. And that break is still with Canada.
Yeah, despite being 5'7", Bansley jumped so well, and she was able to kind of delay her hit just enough for Duda to make a move in the opposite direction.
Oh, that's a great shot. 2 back-to-back points with Heather Bansley that were world class. And the scoreline starts to swing Canada's way, with Brazil having no choice but to call a timeout, try and stop the momentum here, because they're on the back foot, Dave.
Just incredible. You know, if you watch the opening whistle, you were thinking, wow, Brazil is going to take this thing in 2 straight sets, but not the case. Canada has elevated their game to another level right now. They look very comfortable. They look very confident. You can see them conversing in the rest area there and talking strategy, but they're in complete control right now. Up a set and really taking it to the Brazilians right now. Successful blocks. Look at that. Wilkerson 3-0 over Agatha. And of course, she's getting a lot more action as well. 15-11 in terms of attacks. But the big number is that 3-0 in blocks. Having that difference is everything here in this second set.
Heather Bansley. And well, it's now block number 4 for Brandy Wilkerson. And for the first time, we see the Brazilians, well, heads dropping just a little, the body language changing in stark contrast to Canada, who are now really starting to believe they could wrap this bronze medal up in 2 sets. Another big, long, deep serve from Bansley. Another amazing block from Wilkerson, 17-11.
Seems like Wilkerson knows exactly where Agatha's going. She waits, jumps huge into the angle again, and stuffs her straight down. Agatha trying to be aggressive, but it's not paying off right now.
6 clear Canada now, Dane. If we'd have had this conversation 20 minutes ago, you would never have tipped it in a million years. This has been one of the turnarounds, not only of this tournament, but of the season so far. Good cover from Bansley. Can she finish it? Oh, yes, she can. Heather Bansley and her partner, Brandy Wilkerson, are now playing their best volleyball of the day, maybe even of the tournament.
Yeah, I would completely agree. They look relaxed right now. They look in complete control and very composed, just 3 points away.
A good shot from Duda going over on 2, catching the Canadians out of position.
Nice little knuckle poke shot high over the block and into the corner. Not even Bansley can run that one down.
Heather Bansley with a really powerful arm swing. 19-12, the 7-point advantage is back. They just need to trade the side outs now, and Canada have got this bronze, surely. Brandy Wilkerson on fire with her play at the moment. Just 2 away from the bronze.
Oh, we got a net violation on somebody. No. I think I would challenge that if I were Wilkerson. Yeah, I mean, why not? Here's, oh yeah, someone really hit the net. Who was it though? That was a tough one to see. Wilkerson afterwards really looked like she was innocent. Not sure what the call was. She was like, there it is. That was an easy call. She's a good actress, huh? She like totally innocent after that. Like, what happened? It wasn't me.
Well, there's 1 or 2 out there that would say acting skills can come in handy on the beach court.
She fooled me, I'll tell you that.
Here's Duda with the serve. Brazil still in trouble here. Heather Bansley finds the line deep into the Brazilian court. It is match point Canada.
There's Heather Bansley reaching high, going to the corner. Duda is reading the shot well, but the shot just too good.
And there it is, 21-13 in the second set. Brazil have been beaten by both the Canadian teams here in the final four of the Gstaad Major. I can hear many of you saying back home right now, why didn't Heather and Brandy play like this in their semi against Germany? Because they started off slow. Some may say incredibly slow. But once they found top gear, there was no stopping Canada. Finally winning the first set 21-19 and the second 21-13. After the slow start, an emphatic victory for Canada's Heather Bansley and Brandy Wilkerson, taking the bronze in the Gstaad Major for 2018. Well, Heather, one of the smallest players in the tournament. Confirmation. Canada take the bronze here in Switzerland, 21-19, 21-13 against Agatha and Duda of Brazil. Brandy Wilkerson showing absolute focus and determination. Both these ladies had a real tough time from Germany in the semi-final. They put that match behind them, came back to centre court just a couple of hours after losing their semi and put on a spectacular display of beach volleyball. Both players having a great match. The blocking statistic from Wilkerson, so impressive. And Bansley's defense just covered everything that Brazil could fire at her. Canada take their fourth medal of the season, but perhaps most importantly for the North Americans, their first in a major series. Dane, let's go down to you.
Well, thanks a lot. You guys, congratulations on the win here. It is so hard to recover when you lose in the semifinal to come out in the bronze medal match. What was the difference this afternoon?
You know, it was a really tough. I think we were pretty heartbroken after our semifinal loss. And, you know, we wanted to stick together as a team like we have been doing all week. And I have to give a huge credit to Brandy for bringing the energy and lifting me up and, you know, just creating just a positive environment for this bronze medal game.
Congratulations on that. What we watched and what was so interesting, you started the match down 7-1, and we were thinking, wow, Brazil might take this thing in straight sets, but you stayed positive, as you said, strong body language, and you turned around and won this thing in 2. How much confidence does that give you?
It's definitely a lot of confidence. I have confidence in this team from before that 7-1, so there's no score that really intimidates us. I think it's been a theme this week, and it's something that we've learned to embrace and be proud of, that we can fight through any number of points down. So yeah.
This team has really taken the tour by storm. You won a couple of weeks ago in Warsaw, Poland, and you're still probably celebrating your birthday, which was on the 1st of July. You in 2015 won a cowbell. What does it mean? I want to ask you, what does it mean now to bring home that coveted cowbell?
It's what I've been waiting for. More cowbell, but no, it's I've had my eye on the prize, so it's nice to definitely get one.
Oh, she's fucking excited!
I know! I'm stoked!
You guys, congratulations, you guys. That's right, born in Lausanne. Congratulations. Go and celebrate, and then get to watch the final and look for the next one. Thanks, guys.
Great words from the Canadian ladies. Lovely interview from Dane there, and you can clearly see how much it means to these two young ladies to have taken the bronze at the Gstaad Major here in Switzerland. And as Dane said in the interview there, we thought it was going to be yet another nightmare, going 7-1 down at the start of set one, only to battle their way back and then show some amazing play in set two to take this bronze medal in 2-0. Brandy Wilkerson, for me, could be one of the new stars of the women's game. 5 blocks to 0. Coming up next here on that centre court is the big final of the day. Canada in action again with Pavan and Humana Paredes up against the defending champions from Germany, Labourard and Julia Suda. We'll be back in just a short while. Until then, from Nick Fellows and Dane Blanton, many thanks for your company. It's goodbye for now.
Gefüllt wird und alle hier bei uns sind hier langsam